A beautiful good morning from Milan Malpensa airport. Today we're gonna fly Alitalia to... Just a second. Okay. Today we're gonna fly Air China to Chengdu in China. And my flight today is gonna be in business class on the Airbus A350. And I believe this is one of the nicer business class of Air China. But we will find out today. So join me on this journey. It's gonna be around 10, 11, 12 hours to China on this new business class of Air China. To do that, let's go to the check-in area. Luckily, Air China offers a dedicated business class check-in desk with a much shorter queue than economy class. All checked in, and now let's go through security, and they offer fast track for business class and the lounge. But wow, the check-in is busy. Luckily in business class there was nobody. After the pleasant fast-track security check, immigration was next. And this was a pretty awful and disorganized experience. No fast lane here, something to bear in mind when traveling through Milan Malpensa airport. Wow, I've traveled to Milan airport quite often, but I've never seen these masses of people, especially queuing at the immigration. It took me around 20 minutes just to go through passport control. Anyway, I made it through, and thanks to the fast track at the security check, I saved around 20, 25, if not 30 minutes. I finally made it to the so-called premium lounge, which is the contact lounge for Air China. The lounge is nothing to brag about at home, to be honest, but it provides me with some breakfast options. But the reception of the lounge was like, oh no, another one is coming. No welcome, or welcome to the lounge, or how are you? Just nothing, just a grim look. Anyway, I'm happy I have a lounge and I can have a breakfast, so I'm not complaining too much. Yeah, that lounge isn't really worth staying long. Let's go to the gate and check out if the aircraft is visible. So the lounge is on one end of the international terminal and the gate is on the completely other end of the international terminal. So it's quite a walk. By the way, have you ever seen a working walkway in Milan Malpensa airport? I haven't. If you have, please let me know. I'm curious if they actually are here for decoration or actually functioning sometimes. Correction, one is working. So forget about what I said before, they have at least one working walkway. I finally arrived at my gate. Still a bit too early, so let's have a look around the gate area. And here it is, my ride to Chengdu. A bit hidden in the corner, so I only can see the tail. But I'm so excited to try out Air China's A350-900 business class. I wonder why the ground staff hasn't sent me to this lounge, because this lounge is right next to my gate. And it's also Air China. Well, considering the check-in lady didn't even know where the lounge is when I asked, I guess that explains a bit the organization here. Anyway, all good, let's go to the gate and wait impatiently in front of the gate. And shortly after, boarding started, where I could enjoy priority boarding with my business class ticket.
Good morning. So boarding pass? This way, please.
Okay.
16A.
Thank you. I was welcomed very friendly, and being the first passenger aboard, I got a great view of this shiny new Air China business class cabin. It is arranged in a 1-to-1 layout, providing direct aisle access for all passengers. This here is my seat for the next 11 or 12 hours, located in the second last row. Thank you. Welcome aboard Air China's A350-900 in this beautiful 1-to-1 business class. As so often with Chinese or Asian airlines, the welcome was so friendly, smiling, and I already got my slippers, which is custom when you fly on Asian airlines or especially Chinese airlines, you always get these slippers. And a wet hand towel and a welcome drink, a mix with not quite sure. I'm gonna try it, but it looks interesting. I think it has tomato juice in it. Not quite my taste, but it's okay. I have just received the menus. We're gonna have 2 meals. A lunch about half an hour after takeoff, and then there's gonna be also a breakfast before landing. So I can choose now what I want, and I will tell the cabin crew, and they will prepare it for me then accordingly. On my seat I found this pillow, and overhead, in overhead lockers, I saw some blankets for the night. So let's see what else I have here. I got a bottle of water. I have to press here. It's a storage space. And inside I found the IFE controller for for this screen here. And size-wise, it's quite big. And there's a power outlet on this side, and this must be the outlet for the headphones. Here we have some documents, and oh, that must be the amenity kit. Let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at the content a bit later in the flight. And this here, oh, that's some additional storage space. It's pretty shallow, but like it's good for a phone or a charger. And here we have the safety leaflet for the Air China A350-900. This here is the seat controls with some presets here, like takeoff position, launch position, and lie flat position. This here looks like a reading light. And I just checked with the cabin crew if they're okay with me filming. They said no problem at all. The legroom, of course, is very generous. I can barely reach the ottoman, but it looks quite narrow back there. So we will see in the sleeping position how that's gonna feel. And here on the side I have additional storage space, which I'm using for my camera equipment. On my right I have this armrest, which is lowered now, I guess for the departure. But it can be pulled up like this for later in the flight. And I believe there's an additional storage space in here as well. That must be the headphones. Yes. Let's unwrap it. It's almost Christmas time. That's actually a pretty nice case. We're gonna check out the headphones once we are airborne. If I'm not mistaken, Saudi Airlines has a pretty similar, if not the same, business class layout on their Boeing 787-10. Well, business class layout and product. Overhead I have individual reading lights, but no air fans. And did you notice there are no center overhead bins? Only on the sides, which gives this cabin a really roomy feeling. But it also means that the reading lights are very high up. My journey today takes me from Milan to Chengdu, and then I have a 3-hour layover, and from there I fly to Phuket. Boarding is completed and we should be on our way to Chengdu shortly. We are being pushed a few minutes ahead of schedule, and I am on my way to China.
and the Ministry of Public Security. You may be subject to penalty, administrative detention, or even criminal punishment if you are caught with the following behavior. Please make sure that your seatbelt is securely fastened.
Bye-bye Northern Italy, as we are heading towards the Swiss Alps for an initially northeasterly heading towards China. What a clear day, and a good day to have a window seat. We are up in the air, and that means one thing: time to get more comfortable. While we cross the breathtaking view of the Alps, let's look at some more of the amenities that you can expect when flying business class with Air China. The table I find here, and I can release it like this. And flight time to Chengdu today is 10 hours. While we wait for the lunch to be served, let's have a look at the IFE. So this is the main menu. We have entertainment, kids stuff, and a tour. I wonder if they have a camera mounted on the tail. But first, let's have a look at the movie section. So here we have different genres: new release, Chinese, Hollywood, global, action, romance, etc. Even by language here. So if we have scroll through the different genres, you see a bit of an overview what to expect. I'm not going too much into details, otherwise that will take way too long because there are quite a lot of movies. Then if you go back to the home section, then we can have a look at the series. I wonder if Air China offers Big Bang Theory. That could be under the series. Documentary, sports, life. I haven't seen it yet, but maybe there is it somewhere, maybe global TV. Yeah, not sure. Music, we can do the EDM test. So how do I find EDM? Folk song, Chinese pop, Chinese folk music, classical, Chinese music, West music. Shall I check West music? Igor, Prophonia. So far I don't really have an overview. Anyway, let's see if we find the route map and maybe even an in-flight camera. I can imagine that's under Air China. About us, snapshots, dial service. I think I don't see a camera. Let's check out the map, which I saw here. Map. Yeah. It seems. Here we go. I thought it was not loading, but it is actually. Here we go. What do we have here? It's in Chinese, but I think these are the different options for the map. Here we have our aircraft, A350. And it is interactive. So I didn't see a tail camera or something, but at least we have this animation. I wonder why it's only in Chinese. And now let's have a look at the amenity kit. So it's quite loaded with a dental kit. This is a lotion, body lotion, earplugs. This must be some sanitary wipes, comb, toothpaste. This is a lip balm and an eye mask. From my perspective, this is a pretty nice amenity kit, rather on the basic side, but still it seems practical. Now let's put it back in before lunch is coming. There was just an announcement that they provide free internet service on this flight. So maybe it's good information for you if you are eager to use the internet when traveling. As so often, especially in business class, all windows are being closed to make it a bit darker in here. I'm still trying to figure out why that is, if it's a kind of energy conservation because of warming up the cabin or because of making people sleepy. I still don't know why, but it's fine. It's still bright enough in here and I actually can still easily film. And from time to time I might check out, of course, what the view is like, especially when watching the route map, and I feel like there's something interesting down there to see. And since lunch is served shortly, I like watching and eating at the same time. So I would want to watch a movie, and I find the selection almost a bit random. For example, we have the 2 Aquamans, but there's John Wick, but only one, the 4. Or we have Fast and Furious, only number 6. So why not 5 or 7 or even one of the later ones? To me, it's almost a little bit random. Jurassic World, and then we have a single Indiana Jones, and yeah, I still need to look what I'm gonna watch, but so far I haven't seen much that I feel like I want to see or that I haven't seen yet, so I'll find something. But before all of this, let's check out the bathroom of this business class. The water closet is pretty spacious, and this panda looks after the air quality. Here we have the usual hand towels and napkins and the sink with liquid soap. Here we have some cups, and since we are in business class, there are also some additional products like this selection of lotions and creams. This here is a fold-down baby changing table, and this here, I guess this is a seat, so you don't need to sit on the toilet cover, in case you need to sit for another reason. I'm not sure if these doors are meant for the passengers to look into. They look like additional supplies for this bathroom. Overall, I would say it's a clean and well-equipped bathroom. Lunch serving has kicked off, and I got my Coke Zero, some nuts, and also a salmon. And some cutleries. While we wait for the next course to be served, I can show you the headphones. They are with the Air China logo. We will see if they are noise cancelling, but they do look like they are. Yes, it's noise cancelling. And in the meanwhile, my appetizer has arrived. This salad with meat and asparagus and salmon. And this salad with dried tomato, cucumber salad and cheese. And a piece of bread. Even though this appetizer doesn't quite meet my taste, I find it a pretty impressive platter for a first course. And here we have my main course. Beef strips with green beans, Sichuan sauce and white rice. So as you can see, I went for the Chinese option from today's lunch. There was also a Western option, but I don't remember what it was. But you saw it in the menu that I showed earlier. The sauce is very oily, but maybe that's how it's supposed to be. In a way it's basic, but also a bit spicy. And finally, the dessert. I got some fruit, and this looks like a kind of pudding. And after that, I'm gonna be full. And now I'm gonna finish off my lunch with this green tea. We are now 3 hours into the flight, and it has become dark outside. We are quite far north of Moscow. I'm gonna work a little bit now and then probably will have a nap as well. So it seems my fellow 4 or 5 passengers in business class are also having a rest. The cabin crew just walked past and offered me some yogurt and chocolate. I didn't want yogurt, but I have the chocolate here. I have worked on my render video now for about 1.5 hours or so, and the link you find up here. Or here, if you want to check it out. And now let's go into the lie flat position of this business class. I think something is blocking the seat, so I'm not in full lie flat yet, but I'm gonna keep on trying. So it seemed the footrest was a bit blocked, but I was moving the footrest up and then I could move into the lie flat position. And as expected, it's quite narrow down there at the end of the ottoman, but it's quite long, so I think even with my almost 2 meters I fit in lengthwise. And on my right I have this armrest which I can lower, so I have even more space in the width. Now it's time to relax, watch something and maybe even fall asleep. We still have a few hours to go, 5.5 to be precise. Good night till later. In the meanwhile, consider subscribing to my channel. That would be amazing. I have tried to sleep a little bit, but it was not really possible because in Milan where we left it's only in the middle of the afternoon, and while in China it's way past midnight. So I tried to nap, but my body's not adjusted for that, so probably I will want to sleep once we are arriving in China. We have 2 hours and 10 minutes to go before landing in Chengdu.
We do not have disturbed you in the event of turbulence. Please.
And we're gonna land in Chengdu Tianfu airport, which is the newer airport of the 2 airports in Chengdu. Before I just had a glance into their, I think it's premium economy that is behind business class, and nobody is sitting there. I think this is one of the lightest loads I have experienced lately flying to China. Anyway, breakfast is on the way and I'm actually looking forward to it because I got quite hungry again. And also what's worth mentioning is throughout the flight I was constantly asked if I want something to have a snack or to drink, and they would come with a tray and show what they have. It's quite a nice service. The cabin lights are back on and I received a refreshing hand towel which announces the imminent arrival of my breakfast. And I got an orange juice already. And here it is, the Chinese breakfast. It's a selection of dumplings, congee and some sort of pickles. And I got a Greek yogurt as well. And my coffee is on its way. And I also just received a croissant. 1 hour to go before we arrive in Chengdu Tianfu. And in case you wonder how much I paid for this trip in business class, so from Milan via Chengdu to Phuket and then back from Bangkok via Beijing to Milan, I paid for business class roughly $1,700, which I find is quite a good deal considering all flights are in business class and 3 out of the 4 flights are on wide-body aircraft, which means they usually have a bit more comfortable business class. As common when traveling with Chinese Airlines, they prepare for landing way ahead of the touchdown. I mean, we still have more than 1 hour to go, well, 1 hour 10 minutes, and we are already asked to open all the window shades and put the seat in an upright position, buckle up and so on. I have experienced this with other Chinese carriers, so I think it's a Chinese Civil Aviation Authority requirement, it seems. At the end, as so often, I quite enjoyed traveling with Air China. I have traveled with quite a number of Chinese airlines, also long haul, and they all are in general pretty good, so also Air China. Therefore, I would recommend that you try them out at some point, at least in business class. And I think the economy class might also be worthwhile, because when I flew economy with Air China, also on longer routes, I didn't film it, but I was flying them as well. They had pretty good legroom and also pretty nice service. Overall, I would prefer flying Air China or even China Eastern or Shanghai Airlines and so on over any European airline that would offer this route. It's a pity. I mean, I would like to support also the European airlines, especially my home country airline Swiss, but flying with Swiss is not my favorite, unfortunately. I wish it was different. Therefore, whenever I see a good fare, especially in business class with an Asian carrier, I hardly can resist. And we have started our descent towards Chengdu. It's time to grab the shoulder harness and fully buckle up for touchdown in Chengdu, where I will have a few hours before my connecting flight to Phuket. Wow, it's pitch black outside still. Well, anyway, welcome to Chengdu, the city of pandas. Unfortunately, I won't have time to see the famous Chengdu pandas. I hope another time. I hope this flight review provided you with some interesting information and pictures of Air China's new A350 business class. And if you haven't done yet, consider subscribing to my channel and maybe also leave a thumbs up. Bye-bye, thank you very much, bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Till next time, bye for now.